Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. Tonight,
don't nobody care but us about somebody
That's not
taking
true.
questions.
If it were someone else, you would be demanding that they sit down for questions.
uh-oh, the plot to hide Harris is falling apart.
So now we got some work to do.
I had a guy shooting on the roof of AGR.
We're just trying to hold the roof the best we can.
Don't pull up your head, he's right there. Somebody
Got him.
Inside the Trump assassination scene.
I told him to post guys over here.
This is America's dad. Walls is a firecracker popsicle. You certainly taste the red first, but over time, you get to the blue.
Democrats have daddy issues.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Plus,
I have a message to Jesse. You suck.
you never want to kick your honeymoon off with a fight. And Democrats have been trying to put on a smile and pretend like it's happy days with Kamala. But after 3 weeks with her, they're losing it. Behind the scenes, it's infighting, backstabbing, like we've never seen before. The orchestrator of the Biden coup, Nancy Pelosi, can't stop trash-talking her ex.
I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of a better campaign because they were not facing the fact of what was happening. I've never been that impressed with his political operation.
Biden's operation.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I just haven't been. They won the White House. Bravo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so my concern was this ain't happening. And we have to make a decision for this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that show.
And what was that?
That Donald Trump would never set foot in the White House again.
Inside the tent, Biden world shooting right back, calling Nancy out by name.
There were leaders of the party who decided to go ahead and go very public, and that gave permission to other people to go public.
Do you mean like when Nancy Pelosi goes on TV and you know, there were two moments where she goes out publicly and when things sort of seemed like they were dying down, reopens the debate?
Absolutely. You had this decision that the Democratic Party made to ignore their primary voters and ignore their primary process, and that was what should happen, and that was a very donor-driven thing.
Nancy's guilty conscience is starting to kick in, and she's losing sleep over it.
You think your relationship will be there?
I hope so. I pray so. I cry so. You know,
You worry about it?
I lose sleep on it. Yeah. Yeah.
You think he's angry at you? You think he's angry at you?
I don't know. We haven't had a conversation.
Aww. Trump's hearing rumblings that Biden is still holding a grudge.
The presidency was taken away from Joe Biden, and I'm no Biden fan, but I'll tell you what, from a constitutional standpoint, from any standpoint you look at, they took the presidency away. And people were saying he lost after the debate. He couldn't win. Whether he could win or he couldn't win, he had the right to run. And they took it away like he was a child. And he's a very angry man right now, I can tell you that. He's not happy with Obama, and he's not happy with Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy. She is crazy, too. She's not happy with any of the people that told him that you've got to leave. He's very unhappy, very angry, and I think he also blames her.
This was supposed to be the honeymoon phase, but the entire honeymoon's been nothing but fighting. Not a good start. They thought they could get rid of Biden by sticking a knife in his back, but Biden played his cards right by anointing Kamala. Now Democrats in the media have to carry Kamala's water. And after doing it for Biden for 4 years, Democrats in the media are already running out of gas. CNN confronted the coup master, asking, so where is Kamala?
Do you think that the vice president needs to be more out there talking to reporters, talking about issues in a give and take, not just in speeches?
I think she should say what I just said in that sentence. She should be herself. She should be ready. She should know her power in all of this. And I don't give anybody advice except to be themselves and be ready and know the power of their individuality and their authenticity.
What? Do you know what that meant? Well, the media now scrapping with each other, too. Watch this.
Let me just also say this. Like, don't nobody care but us about somebody
That's not
taking
true.
questions. No, that is very true.
I speak to swing state voters all the time. They have questions, they want answers.
No. But yes, they have questions, they want answers. But you know what doesn't have to happen? Audie doesn't have to ask those questions.
Yes, Audie does have to
no,
ask
she does
those
not.
questions.
Political does not.
Because when fans ask them, Bakari,
when
we're
not
friends
talking,
ask them,
we're not,
when surrogates ask them, they're not getting the real answer. That's why Audie needs to ask them.
This is so in the Beltway.
No, it really isn't. I'm telling you, Bakari, I speak to swing state voters every single day.
The Democratic Party is having second thoughts, especially after Kamala put a freak on her ticket. James Carville, who Primetime has no issues with, we actually invited him on our show for Chicago, just went off on us.
I have a message to Jesse and the whole freak show is why don't you take a and maybe you suck.
We don't take it personally, but it looks like the tampon Tim thing touched a nerve. Our invitation to Carville still stands, and he can explain to me why fourth grade boys need tampons in their bathrooms. But if Kamala Harris is John Wayne and she's up in the polls, why are Democrats so angry? Maybe because all along they knew this was fomentum. Biden voters in Pennsylvania say after the coup, they're voting Trump.
More Latino voters, Indian voters, they're moving more into the right.
2 years ago, everybody hated him. Now, majority are like, no, I'm voting for Trump.
I was a Democrat, and I started to realize the policies that I was voting in wasn't my standards or what I believe.
You'll be surprised. I used to do registration, and a lot of people changed party.
I've seen a lot of people leaning towards Trump right now.
Even people who were Biden before?
Even people that were Biden.
Swapping Biden out for Kamala was Plan B. It's already flaming out. The media is asking Biden if he'll give up power when Trump wins. Watch.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it. All the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath.
You think Democrats are going to go down that easy? It's not how they roll. They play dirty, and they always have something up their sleeve. Jamie Raskin has had Plan C in the works for months. Listen to this.
They want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions.
Disqualify him. That's what Democrats are going to do if Trump wins. If the Democrats have the House and the Senate, they'll vote to disqualify him before he's inaugurated on the grounds that he's an insurrectionist who's constitutionally prohibited under the 14th Amendment from serving, even though he was never charged or convicted of insurrection. A preemptive coup, not a silent coup. This time they're admitting it. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.